Box Office Delusional. This is a story from David Poland's Hot Button. Alan, I'll put this in the private chat for you to read.
All right.
David Poland is someone I probably wouldn't necessarily align with politically. He's more of a lefty. I'm more independent, but he's common sense. David Poland is very common sense. Alan, I gave you the link.
Yeah, I got it.
From a few days ago. The Hot Button is his column. It's at davidpoland.substack.com. His latest editorial, Box Office Delusional. Alan, if you would read from the top.
Yes. I really had no interest about writing about about another shitty weekend at the box office this week. Simple math. It's the third weekend in a row under 100 million overall at the domestic box office. And worse, these 3 weekends have all been under $80 million. The most recent 2 being under 55 million. We have had only $100 million weekend in our first 10 of the year. Last year, we had 3 in the first 10 weekends because March was loaded, in great part because of the strikes, and the movies were moved out from 2023 to March 2024. That said, we are slightly ahead of last year as of March 9th, 66 million, but behind 2023 by 119 million. But we are about to see those numbers looking much worse, as the balance of the last year's movies included Kung Fu Panda 4, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and Godzilla vs. Kong: The New Empire. This year, the hope is riding on weekend by weekend Novocaine, Snow White, and A Working Man / Woman in the Yard.
Pause for a second.
Yeah.
The lineup for the first 3 quarters of this year is so weak. Last year, we had Dune Part 2.
Yes.
That was the first big hit of last year. This year, we could have been Captain America, but that fizzled. Continue, if you would, please.
Even if Novocaine outperforms or overperforms and Snow White is stronger than anticipated, CinemaCon, the first weekend of April, is going to be loaded with anxiety, even with loaded summer on the way. And the studios are blaming everything on Earth other than their programming choices, which brings me to why I'm writing today. It's not just Anthony D'Alessandro, who is more attractive than his current smile-free deadline photo. I keep seeing all these crazy rationalizations for what has long been the presumed unavoidable box office failure of Mickey 17. Deadline, sad weekend for lofty price original sci-fi fare with Mickey 17, opening at 19 million plus, but there are a few to keep in mind. Variety, Mickey 17 struggles against big budget. Hollywood Reporter, box office, Bong Joon-ho's Mickey 17 opens to sluggish 19 million in U.S. launch. Subhead, the Warner Brothers film starring Robert Pattinson, still won the weekend despite coming in on a lower end of expectations. Let me give Pam McClintock a little love for writing a reasonably sober piece about the weekend without making excuses for the weak performance of a movie that the studio has been hanging on to, looking for the right dumping ground for over a year. She quotes my 30-year industry pal, Paul something. The best way to assess the overall performance of the theatrical marketplace is to take a broad view rather than allowing a few lackluster weeks to spark sweeping negative pronouncements of the long-term health of the entire industry, says ComScore box office Paul Dergarabedian. All that is being said, buckle up, because in 2025 is set to be a roller coaster ride with some major peaks on the horizon. Things will bounce back as they always do. And then here's the big point. I have to disagree with Paul a bit, is that it's not a few lackluster weeks. The majors have released just 8 films this year to date. Universal released 3, Sony and Warner Brothers 2, Disney 1. Nothing from Paramount, which is their first next weekend with Novocaine. It's a frustrating list. For instance, Paddington in Peru looks underwhelming, but the film is going to pass Paddington 2 in the next few weeks to 10 days. But both of these films feel it isn't quantifiable without being Sony's meeting and budget sheets. Like Sony took soft swings, giving the potential both really well-liked films to do at least 50% more than they will end up doing. The beneficiary, though no fault of its own, Netflix, which has a pay one for Sony. I'm not saying the marketing it wasn't good, just that it wasn't as aggressive as it seems to fit these films.
Yeah, I've read this story. Appreciate you reading it for our audience. Apologies, I had a thank you, Alan. I had a glitch, and I'm back, so don't worry about that. This is a problem. This is a big problem. I think the next, Snow White will probably bomb. Thunderbolts, who knows?
Yeah. Let me show you this. Let me show you this article real quick from.
Yeah, please put the other article up. This relates.
I'm trying to. Yeah, maybe. There we go. Okay. Yeah, no, to compound on the box office, Jack Quaid's Novocaine aims to dethrone Mickey 17 with a $10 million debut.
That's it. $10 million. Okay. And
it'll be number one at the box office.
And beat Mickey 17. How much was the budget of Mickey 17? It was
like 110 million.
Yeah, 110, 120 million. It was crazy. That's insane. That is insane. So this is not good for the industry. I mean, it's sad for theaters nationwide. We already lost 1,000 theaters during COVID. This is not good. It's not good for the industry. Also, when there isn't new movies that people are excited about, does that get them to want to subscribe to Disney Plus or other services?
Or the A-list?
I'm an A-list guy. I'll go see whatever. But this is sad. We're seeing a look. And by the way, for anyone that's like, it'll never happen, drive-ins used to be a big thing. Do you know how many drive-in movie theaters there were in America in the 1960s? 6,000 screens. Do you know how many exist today? Between 300 and 400. That's it. So, and industry, people's habits change. People's the economy is a big part of it. People being entertained by the internet. For the most part, TikTok, Instagram, social media is free, and social media takes up a lot of people's time for entertainment. You've seen it live with your daughter. Her habit has changed.
Yeah, it's hard for me to get her excited about seeing a movie. The momentum, the movie theaters require momentum. It needs one great movie after another to keep audiences
right, or at least let's say one big movie a month.
No, you need 3 big movies a month to keep momentum going.
Yeah, just like a romantic comedy, a horror film, an action movie, a superhero tentpole. Like they go in cycles and they feed on each other, and it gets you to go to the theater. And maybe I'll check out this indie movie Opus with I think John Malkovich is in it. Yeah, I'm going to see it on Thursday. It'll get you to go, well, I've seen everything. What's this? I'll check it out. It's an all ships rise situation. And when the tent poles are not performing, that's bad. Mickey 17 should have been a tent pole. Yeah. I mean, it failed for many reasons. See our review on the channel, but this is a bad sign. And I think July will be the big decider. July is, I think, look, Lilo and Stitch, I think that'll be a hit.
Yeah, that's Memorial Day weekend. I mean, that needs to be.
I think Thunderbolts will probably do pretty well. But
that article I showed you said that Captain America: Brave New World is the lowest performing Marvel movie ever.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wait,
I mean that's a bad state for theaters and for Marvel to be in at this moment, because now it's really got to build its momentum.
yeah, well, I like the new Thunderbolts trailer
Mhm.
that came out. That is kind of I don't know what it's sort of a marketing it like an A24 movie.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm starting to become more excited about Thunderbolts than I am about Superman.